Purpose, drive, and fire are all feelings that will arise when you align everything towards your future self and your future goals. So having a true goal that you are aiming towards is so important to grow as a man and to truly have a meaning or a purpose that you are working with and towards. Having that meaning as a man is so powerful. If you have clicked on this, you're probably curious or are lost or confused in your current trajectory or current decision making in life, as your brain is more focused towards the past and you can't bring yourself out of that. What do you care most about currently? Is there one thing that you say you would fuck everything and work towards? You would put all of your effort into this one thing and go for it. What's holding you back? What's the constraint? The problem is the constraint, but if you are aware of your constraint, then you can minimize that and then work towards your true meaning and your true goal as a man that you can see yourself accomplishing. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you have an amazing vision and you have an awesome the past has ultimately taken over your life and you're struggling to get out of the past and you're struggling even to be in the present, yet alone the future. No wonder you've clicked on this video. Fuck the pleasure that you gain out of your current life. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. That's what you have to take into account when you are in a situation where you think that pleasure currently is what you want to do and you don't care about your future because you can't see your future currently and you can't feel, more to the fact that you can't feel your future. When you're working towards it, it's so hard, dependent on the thing that you are doing, obviously. But if it's an activity or a scenario where you don't gain much fruit on the progress towards it, then it's so much harder to keep motivated and keep disciplined towards that future goal. If it's a financial goal that you are thinking about or aiming towards, or it's a business opportunity that you have, then, and you train a lot in the gym, cutting back on the gym, being all smart about what you're doing with your time is so important for your growth. Going back to what I said about pleasure, you don't need pleasure. Comfort is the killer of man. Comfort holds people back. It's the same for pleasure. So you need to make sure that you align most of your things towards that goal. If it's a long process, then it's going to be a lot of hard work and discipline needed for that. So make sure that you are aligning most or all of the things in your life towards your purpose or your dream or your aspiration that you are thinking about. Don't seek the pleasure if you can't handle the pressure. Make sure that you don't let life come to you. This is the problem that I had when I was in school and I was in college. I was letting life come to me. And it's such a weak thing as a man to let that happen. Instead, you have to come to life. You have to take these opportunities, even if it's with women, even if it's a group of like 3 girls and you're extremely scared. Like, I'm not surprised. That shit's so hard. I mean, there's going to be so many scenarios like that, but if you take one of them, imagine the way you feel after it towards the future, seeing more girls like that. You're going to get so much confidence from that. It doesn't matter about the rejection that you get. It's the regret, and it's the confidence that you gain from that. They don't care what happens. It's not being filmed. Your life isn't being filmed. There's no consequences to it. Maybe it's the contrary. I don't even know how to say that word. It just sounds cool. Maybe you have an awesome vision of your future. Maybe you have an awesome plan for your next 10 years, and you see yourself in 10 years being so much more powerful and so much more confident and so much more fluent than you currently are. Maybe you will even gain more in the 10 years. Today I'm going to talk about how to bring yourself to live life to your fullest, to aim towards that 10-year goal or 10-year time frame, and what you can do to reach that 10-year time frame with your current life trajectory. Maybe you have a few thoughts or scenarios or visualizations come up in your head, but your past takes over and is like, damn, that's not going to happen because I had so many bad experiences similar to that. I had some bad scenarios in that social circle that I don't want to happen again. Most of us experience this, and most of us find it really hard to get over that and step out of the past into the present, into the future. But it's so important that you do that, because if you're stuck in the past, how are you going to gain any progress towards your future goal or your future self-image that you create for yourself currently? Letting that drop, or letting that just calmly go out of your life is so hard yet so powerful, because you can gain a lot and you can learn a lot with that and from that to help other people, or to gain other people or gain experiences, because you know what not to do. And that's probably the only positive about having bad experiences, is you know how to go about the situation to avoid having a bad experiences with people, or having bad scenarios or situations with different things that you have experienced in your life. Maybe you currently feel weak. Maybe you are overworked for little amounts of money. That has benefits, by the way. It can wake you up, but you are stuck in the present in that moment, and you're just trying to gain things for your future that you haven't actually set for yourself. And that's what I see in a lot of people. They work really hard in the present, but they don't actually have a goal in the future. They're just trying to work hard now without any thoughts or any visualization that they create for themselves. With what I said about overwork for little amount of money, people work jobs where they don't actually learn anything from, or they can't build from that. I find that really strange, because they work like minimum 6 hours a day. They're knackered when they get home, and then they do the same thing tomorrow without any thought or without any happiness. Like, if you see your friends or family, are they really happy about going to work? Probably not, because that's because they don't have a goal, or they don't have a vision for their future, because they feel like it's going to be it's going to get worse. They feel like they're going to have to work even harder. You're rewired before you can live life. So life has to be lived with caution. If you're in a current state where you have just come out of addictions, you've just come out of awkward situations, you feel weak, you are isolated, and you want to live an awesome life, that isn't going to happen overnight. And you have to understand that. You have to build yourself up to be able to live the life you want. And it isn't going to take a week. It might not even take a month. It might take longer than that. But being aware of that and understanding that, and having a goal or a visualization of where you want to be, is so powerful. It will gain you so much growth quicker than you currently do. But it won't happen without setting parameters, or it won't happen without kicking everything or destroying everything that you had in your life that was holding you back from setting this dream that you want in your life. Maybe you're shy, maybe you're lazy, maybe you're weak, maybe you are confused, maybe you've just come out of addictions. You can't live the life you want with these things. People aren't going to respect you. You aren't going to get the opportunities acting this way or looking this way. You have lived that wrong life, but now it's time to rewire yourself to live the life that you want to gain in the future. And this is going to come with extreme hard work and sacrifice. That's what a lot of people struggle with, is that sacrifice, because they have that dopamine built up in their brain. They don't want to sacrifice it because it's so enjoyable and it's so rewarding in the current moment. Pleasure is so destroying, so soul destroying, because if you seek pleasure, then if you seek pleasure, how are you going to be able to work hard to gain pleasure in the future when you can get it now? And that's the problem with the world currently. You can pick up your phone and just get pleasure instantly. You can pick up your phone, order some food, and get food within 15 minutes. Instant gratification. To be able to find your true meaning, your purpose, your goals, and your visualization, you need to grow your self-image. How can you like yourself with your current self-image, with your current traits? I don't blame you. I don't blame us. The traits I had were disgusting, and they were just negative points. They weren't positive points. You need to be autistic about self-improvement if you want the life in 10 years. You have to put your head down, you have to focus if you want the life that you want to live. Because ultimately, it's going to require a lot of discipline, and it's going to require a lot of rewiring that you can't currently see and is so hard to replace in your life because you gain so much pleasure out of your previous life. But with all of this, you can never be the master if you have never learnt the lessons of the previous master that you dream about. You need to learn a lot before you can work towards your future self-image. And most of it is towards your brain. And it's so hard to try and control your brain because all of your circuits are totally fried and fucked because They are so confused. Your brain is confused right now. If you go on a detox with anything, your brain is going to be like, what the hell are you doing? We had so much pleasure from that. We had so much dopamine from that. Why are we stopping? And your brain is just so mushed. It's like, why are we doing this? It's because to live the life you want, you have to take so many sacrifices to live that. Right. Hopefully you've been thinking of the 10-year you that you want to live. Ultimately, you can actually do better. The self-image that you currently have is making it more of a easy goal that you're setting yourself in your brain, because your current life is so fucked that you think that you can't get towards a certain point in 10 years. So make a bigger goal. Add some things that are even harder, that you will never think that you'll be able to do. And that is your 10-year self that you have to work towards. Good luck, everyone. Light work. Don't play chess with yourself. I do this a lot. I waste time on a lot of people that ultimately aren't on my level and that I waste a lot of time with. And this has little positives for people that are starting out on their journey, but for me it's a constraint and a weakness because I waste too much time on people. And this is what you gain on the journey that you are on. You work out your weaknesses, you work out your constraints, and you destroy them, and you step away from them, and you don't let them happen, because you are aware of them, because you have experienced them. Even maybe it's things that were in your past life. You can be aware of them. Hopefully you will start to journal. Things will pop up in your brain that you experienced in the past that were holding you back from creating a life that you wanted to live. Pushing yourself towards life head on will make you learn a lot, and it will gain you a lot in the long term. And it comes back to that analogy where you live life and you have zero consequences of letting yourself come to life. So important. That's why I keep iterating it. So powerful for you to put yourself into uncomfortable situations and trying to take as many opportunities as possible, even if you see it and you are unsure whether it's a good opportunity or not. How will you know? It's just the way that people are in the moment. Your brain is very deceiving. It's so deceiving. In any opportunity or in any situation, your brain tells you things that aren't actually true. Your brain doesn't know anything about people that you have never met. That's so powerful, and it's so important because it controls you, but it shouldn't. You should control it. You should control your brain. You should let yourself take control and go for the opportunity that you see, even if your brain is telling you that you don't want to do it or you think it's a bad idea. How do you know it's a bad idea without taking the chance? That's all I wanted to talk about today. That letting yourself work towards the future and fucking all the negatives or consequences that will arise in the present moment. Seeing your future self and visualizing where you can get towards if you align everything towards that goal. financial health, physical health, mental health, if it's social. Imagine where you could be in where you could be in a year, or even 6 months if you align everything towards that, even 1 month. Good luck. Start today to change tomorrow.